Hey everyone! Before I dive into this story, let me pull you into a moment that tore my heart open. For 22 years, I've loved my daughter with every pulse of my being, building a bond I thought was woven with trust, laughter, and shared dreams. I believed we were tethered, no matter the distance or time. Then, one quiet evening, a stranger's words on a glowing screen revealed a secret that shattered that trust. What happened next wasn't about forcing my way back into her life. It was about rediscovering my strength as a mother, about showing a love that endures even through the deepest betrayal. Stick with me, because this story is raw, real, and will hit you right in the soul. Drop a comment to let me know where you're watching from, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This one's going to stay with you. My name is Karen Ellis. I'm 50, a florist living in Burlington, Vermont, in a shingle-sided cottage where the front porch creaks under a blanket of maple leaves, their crisp, sugary scent swirling in the autumn breeze, and the backyard bursts with dahlias, their vibrant petals of crimson and gold swaying, dusting the air with a sweet, earthy hum. I'm not one for the spotlight. I find joy in the snip of my shears, the rustle of flower stems, or the chatter of my book club. The air thick with wine and stories. But if there's one thing that's always defined me, it's my devotion to my daughter, Sophie. Growing up in Burlington's cozy embrace, I learned family is everything. Mom's maple scones cooling, their buttery warmth curling through the house. Dad's stories of Lake Champlain, his voice a steady hum like the water at dusk. That's the love I poured into Sophie, and when she was born, I knew she'd be my heart. Sophie was my light, with a laugh that danced like fireflies, and a spirit bold as the dahlias in my garden. I raised her alone after her dad passed when she was 3, every moment a thread in our bond, arranging flowers, the shop alive with pollen, reading Anne of Green Gables under quilts, whispering dreams over hot cider, its apple tang a soft vow. Now, 22, a photographer in Boston, her images capture the world's pulse. We'd stayed close, texting daily, meeting for coffee in Burlington, the air rich with espresso and fresh pastries at August 1st. But last fall, a discovery on a stranger's social media post broke our bond in ways I never imagined. Sophie and I weren't perfect, but I thought our connection was unbreakable. As a florist, I spent my days crafting bouquets, the petals silk cool under my fingers, but my heart lived with Sophie, sending her care packages of scones, cheering her photo exhibits, the gallery air sharp with developer chemicals. I'd tuck notes into her camera bag, inked with love, and she'd bring me dahlia clippings from her shoots, their petals vibrant, their scent a summer promise. But a year ago, Sophie grew distant. She started dating Liam, a musician she met at a gig, and at first, I was thrilled. His easy grin and guitar strums seemed to match her fire. But soon, I noticed a shift. Sophie's texts dwindled, her calls rushed, her voice clipped like the snap of leaves underfoot. "Just busy, Mom," she'd say, her words sharp as the rustle of Burlington's maples. "Don't worry." I tried not to. I told myself it was her new life, Boston's hustle, her career, a budding romance. But the signs piled up. Liam was always there, his presence heavy in her calls, the phone's static crackling with his laughter. She'd cancel our coffee dates, citing Liam's gigs, the cafe table empty, its espresso scent bitter without her. I noticed her pulling away, her photos darker, her captions vague. One night, she texted, her words hesitant, the city's hum faint. "Liam's intense sometimes," she wrote. "He wants me at all his shows." My heart sank, the dahlia bouquet on my counter drooping, its earthy scent sour under the lamplight's glow. "Sophie, you deserve balance," I replied, my voice steady but aching. "You're enough on your own." She didn't respond, her silence a growing chasm. Last October, as Sophie's 23rd birthday approached, I planned a special brunch to reconnect, to remind her of her spark. I invited our closest friends, Ellen, my book club partner who loved Sophie's photos, Mark, her high school art teacher who saw her talent, and Ruth, our neighbor who baked with us. I wanted this to heal us, but a week before, Sophie was a ghost. She stopped calling, her texts one-word replies like frost on glass. I found a photo she'd sent months ago, a self-portrait with muted colors, unlike her usual vibrancy, the paper crinkling under my trembling fingers. Worried, I called, but her voicemail greeted me, cold and final. Then, one evening, scrolling through Instagram, the screen's blue glow harsh, I froze. A stranger's post, a friend of Liam's, showed a wedding. Sophie in a white dress, dahlias in her hair. Liam grinning beside her, captioned, "Congrats to the newlyweds." My breath caught, the phone slipping, the dahlia bouquet on my table wilting, its scent acrid. "Sophie, married?" I whispered, my voice breaking, tears scalding my cheeks. "Why didn't you tell me?" I sat frozen, the cottage's silence deafening. The maple leaves rustle outside a mournful dirge. I checked her social media, still blocked from weeks ago when I'd asked about Liam's intensity. The betrayal wasn't just the secret wedding, it was the life she'd hidden, the trust she'd severed. I thought of our flower arranging days, her laughter over cider, the notes I'd inked, now meaningless. I wanted to call, demand answers, or drive to Boston. But I didn't. I retreated to the porch swing, the creak of the chains blending with the breeze's soft hiss, the dahlias swaying in the dusk, their crimson petals mocking me. Beneath the pain, a spark flickered. Not anger, but resolve. I couldn't let this break me. I had to reclaim my love, my role, my worth. I didn't confront Sophie that night. I sat on the porch swing, the autumn air chilling my skin, clutching a dahlia, its petals crumpling in my trembling fingers, its earthy scent heavy with grief. The Instagram post, "Newlyweds," looped in my mind, each word a wound. I'd given 22 years, my love, my trust, my life, to a daughter who'd excluded me from her greatest moment. I thought of our cider nights, the bouquets we'd crafted, now tainted by her silence. I could have stormed her Boston loft, begged, or let despair consume me. But as dawn broke, the dahlias glowing with dew, their golden petals defiant in the mist, I heard Mom's voice in my soul. "Love doesn't falter, Karen. It blooms through pain." I had to show Sophie my love, not to force her back, but to remind her of our bond, for her, for me. So I decided to host a Sophie's Shine photo gallery, not to shame her, but to celebrate the daughter I knew, her art, her spirit, surrounded by those who cherished her, to plant a seed she might one day see. I wanted to fill our home with her images, her laughter, and Dahlia's sweet vow to honor my role as her mom. The next morning, I sat at my kitchen table, the air thick with the bitter tang of cold coffee, steam curling like a lost hope, the table's maple cool under my palms. I chose our living room, where Sophie's photos hung like stars, their frames catching the morning light as the setting. I made a list. Quiche with spinach and cheddar, its savory steam rising, maple scones warm with buttery sweetness, cider tart with apple, and a playlist of Sophie's anthems, Ingrid Michelson's tender croon, the head, and the heart's earthy pulse. I called those who'd watched her grow. Ellen, who framed Sophie's first print, Mark, who nurtured her talent, and my sister Lisa, whose hugs smelled of cedar and steadied me after Dad's passing. I couldn't reach Sophie. She'd blocked me, but I sent an invite through Mark, her old teacher, framing it as a celebration of Sophie's photography and soul. I spent the day preparing, the kitchen alive with quiche's buttery sizzle, scones' maple clouds, the clink of Mom's glass plates, their etched rims gleaming like frost. I hung Sophie's photos, vivid cityscapes, tender portraits, their colors dancing under fairy lights strung like fireflies, and set a framed photo of us arranging flowers, her smile a burst of light, beside a dahlia bouquet, its petals silk, its scent a sweet, fierce promise. I wore a sage green dress, its fabric soft as a breeze, a dahlia pinned to my chest, its fragrance a vow of love. The gallery was set for Sophie's birthday evening, the sky a wash of amber and violet, the dahlias heavy with dew, their scent weaving through the crisp air. I stood in the living room, my heart pounding like a tide, as guests arrived. Ellen brought cookies, their vanilla warmth curling like a hug, her embrace tight. "You're a beacon, Karen," she whispered, her voice thick. Mark carried cider, its apple tang sharp as hope, his eyes warm. "This is her, alive," he said. Lisa squeezed my hand, her scarf soft, her voice breaking. "You're her heart, sis." Sophie arrived, hesitant, alone, her camera bag slung over her shoulder, her eyes wary, developer chemicals faint on her. "Mom?" she whispered, her voice trembling, the dahlias scent a bridge between us. "Mark told me. What's this?" I met her gaze, tears welling, my voice steady but raw. "It's for you, Sophie," I choked, my voice cracking, the fairy lights glowing. "Your art, your fire. I love you, always, no matter what." As we gathered, I stood, my voice quaking but fierce, the photo's colors blazing under the lights. "Thank you for being here," I said, tears streaming, holding up our flower photo, its frame cool in my hands. "I found out Sophie got married through a stranger's post on social media. It broke my heart, but I'm here to celebrate her. The artist, the dreamer, my daughter. I love you, Sophie, with every breath." Ellen sobbed. "You're her strength, Karen." Lisa cried. "You're both unstoppable." Mark added, his voice thick. "Sophie, your photos are magic." Sophie's eyes flooded, her voice raw, shattering like glass. "Mom, I'm so sorry," she sobbed, tears streaming, her camera bag trembling, developer smudging her fingers. "I was wrong to hide my wedding. Liam rushed it, said it was romantic, and I was scared to tell you, scared you'd judge. I love you, and I've hurt you so much." I stepped closer, my voice breaking, tears scalding my cheeks. The dahlia's scent sharp and sweet. "Sophie, you're my world." I choked, my heart raw. "I dreamed of your wedding, of being there, and you shut me out. I'm your mom. I'll fight for you forever." She ran to me, her sobs shaking us, her developer-stained hands clutching my dress. The room hushed but warm with love. Friends shared stories. Ellen about Sophie's first exhibit, its colors bold. Mark about her fearless lens. Lisa about our cider nights, mugs steaming. Their words wove us back, a tapestry of love. As we ended, Ruth's grandson Leo scampered up, his sneakers scuffing the floor, offering a crayon drawing of me and Sophie with dahlias, their crimson vivid. "You're the best mom, Miss Karen," he chirped, his voice bright as dawn. I knelt, tears spilling, the paper crinkling. Thank you, Leo. I choked. I'm trying. I'd done it. Reclaimed my love, my role, my Sophie, under Dahlia's sweet grace. The next morning, Sophie found me in the kitchen, washing Mom's glass plates, their etched rims glinting like morning frost, the air thick with coffee's roasted warmth, its steam curling like a fragile vow. "Mom," she said, her voice raw, trembling like maple leaves in a breeze. "We need to talk. Last night, I felt your love. So big, so real. I was so wrong to hide my wedding. I'm sorry, and I need you." I set down a plate, the dahlia sprig still pinned to my sweater, its petals curling but fierce, and faced her, my eyes burning. "Sophie, you broke my heart," I sobbed, my voice shattering, tears scalding my cheeks, the coffee's bitterness sharp. "I found out you got married from a stranger's post, not your voice. I dreamed of your wedding, of standing by you, and you shut me out. I'm your mom. I'd give my life to keep you close." She sank into a chair, her face crumpling, tears dripping like dew on dahlia petals, her developer-stained fingers trembling. "I know," she cried, her voice breaking, raw as a fresh wound. "Liam pushed the wedding, said it was spontaneous, and I was scared to tell you. Scared you'd see through him. He's intense, Mom, and I've been lost. You're my anchor, and I hurt you. I love you so much." I gripped the table, the plate's cool rims steadying me, my heart torn but softening. "I love you, Sophie," I choked, tears streaming, my voice raw, the dahlia's scent a lifeline. "I saw you fading, your photos dark, your spark dim, and it killed me. You hid your life, and I had to learn I'm enough as Karen, not just your mom, but you're my everything." She reached for my hand, her fingers shaking, her voice desperate, pleading, thick with pain. "I see you now," she sobbed, her words heavy, cracking. "You're the strongest mom, my hero. I'm questioning Liam. I need help to find myself again. I don't deserve you, but I want to earn us back. Please, Mom." I held her hand, the dahlias sent a steady pulse, my heart aching but blooming. "You'll always have me," I said, my voice cracking, tears warm, the coffee's steam curling like a promise. "But we rebuild slowly, Sophie. Honesty, time, love. I'm your mom, but I'm Karen too, and I'm choosing my strength." Her shoulders shook, her voice a whisper, raw and broken. "You're incredible," she said, tears falling, her eyes soft. "I want to make you proud. Thank you for fighting for me." I thought of Leo's drawing, the dahlias in my yard, their crimson petals swaying in the breeze, and hugged her, our sobs blending, the kitchen warm with coffee's nutty embrace and the promise of us. Over the next weeks, my community rallied around us. Ellen texted, "You're a warrior, Karen." That gallery was pure love. Lisa sent a jar of maple syrup, writing, "You're her North Star." Mark called, his voice thick, saying, "You brought her home, Karen. Both of you shine." Each message was a spark, rekindling our bond. Sophie stayed in Burlington for a month, shooting photos in my garden, her colors vivid again, the air alive with developer and laughter. She started therapy, her voice growing bolder, and we baked scones, the kitchen thick with maple and butter, our talks raw but healing. Leo's drawing stayed on my fridge, its crayon dahlias a beacon of our love. 4 months later, Sophie asked to meet for coffee. We sat at August 1st, the air heavy with espresso's roasted tang and the crackle of fresh pastries, steam swirling from our mugs like whispered dreams, the dahlia pin on my jacket glinting under the morning's golden light. She looked radiant, her camera bag open, its prints bursting with color, her eyes clear as a Vermont sky. "Mom," she said, her voice thick, trembling like dahlia petals in a breeze. "Therapy's been tough, but it's helping me see why I hid my wedding. I was lost in Liam's world, scared to face you, and I hurt you, the one who loves me most. I'm so sorry, and I want to keep rebuilding us, always." I studied her, tears pooling, my heart full but steady, the dahlia's scent a sweet anchor. "Sophie," I choked, my voice shattering, the coffee's bitterness sharp. "You're my everything. I found out you married through a stranger, not you, and it broke me. I dreamed of your wedding, of being there, and you shut me out. I'm your mom, but I'm Karen too, and I had to learn I'm enough. I'm here forever, but we go slow, with truth." She reached for my hand, her fingers trembling, her eyes wet like dew on dahlias, her developer-smudged nails catching the light. "I see you," she sobbed, her voice raw, breaking like a wave. "You're the strongest mom, my guiding light. I don't deserve you, but I'll try every day to show I love you. Thank you for never letting go." I squeezed her hand, a steady bridge, and smiled, tears warm on my cheeks, the pastries crackle a soft rhythm. "We're a team," I said, my voice soft, the coffee's steam curling between us. "Always, Sophie." We began anew, coffee dates, photo walks, talks that bared our souls, the air warm with cider's apple tang and trust's quiet bloom. It wasn't the bond of her childhood, but it was deeper, honest, and ours. That post, that pain shattered me, but it set me free. It taught me that love isn't just closeness, it's truth, courage, standing firm when your heart splinters. I stood up for Karen, not to force Sophie back, but to honor the mom who loves, who fights, who grows dahlias that bloom through any frost. As I sit here now, Mom's glass plates stacked neatly, their etched rims catching the sunlight, I feel her whispering, "You're enough, Karen. You always were." This story isn't just mine. It's for anyone who's loved fiercely, who's felt their bond fracture, but chose to rise, to love anyway. Share your story in the comments. How did you find your strength after a heartbreak? Your voice matters. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next story.